Hi, how are you? And welcome back. We're about to do the tarot. So this is Emerald Blue Phoenix and I'm doing the tarot. It's really good to be with you. And this is the Business Tarot and we're talking about the 30th of August and we've got a new moon and it's looking like a great new moon for initiatives. And it's going to be, I'm using Dreams of Gaia. I just realised I'm doing the wrong shuffle. It's going to be a great moon for getting out new initiatives and for getting some new thinking happening. But most importantly, it's a new way of being engaged with your business opportunities or your career. Because often we lose sight of why we chose that career in the first place. Okay. Oh dear. I was talking about in the astrology earlier about change. And what we've got coming up is the full moon. And this is the Celtic tarot. I like them because the images are very simple and very direct. The full moon, and this is basically saying that there's something that is hidden or we're not acknowledging, and that needs to be thought about. And the thing that's come up right next to that, that's deciding that, is this: we're really tired, and we're burdened, and we're over this path. And so some of us are not openly acknowledging that that's where we are. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the world. So the world is the card of opportunity, change, and things moving forward. And it's a card of hope and optimism, so it's a lovely card to have. But it's also a 2 in numerology, so it's definitely talking about choices. So when we talk about the energies that are around us, either with tarot or with astrology, we've always got choice. And this is saying for you, it's time to make a choice. You know that there's something that you need to be thinking about, or you can't quite articulate it yet. Trust me, on 30th, when Mercury goes into Virgo, which is the planet of communication, going into its one of its houses, its planets, it really likes Virgo. It's one of the ruling planets for the house of Virgo. And Virgo is about communication and details and articulation. You're going to be able to say what it is that you haven't been acknowledging and what it is that's been making you really tired of where you are. Okay, so that's the bottom of the deck. Let's see what else we've got coming out of the deck. Okay, good. So this is followed by the Ace of Wands, which is a wonderful card. It's about fire and energy and getting fired up. And it's also next to the Chariot, and the Chariot is about moving forward at great speed. It's also about yin and yang. It's also about mind and heart. So what we're looking here is getting fired up again about what we want to be doing and what we believe in and what we want and how we want to see that happen and take place in our workplace or our business, and then taking action towards that. The only thing I'm going to give you, that having been in a lot of corporate places, is that right now we've got 2 things happening. We've got people who are tending to be more and more conservative in the workplace and sticking more and more to the traditions, and we've got this other group of people who are really wanting to change things. So if you are not in a position where you can change the corporation you're in, and you start speaking up and you're not strategic about how you're speaking up, you're just going to get pulled down, knocked down. It's not going to go anywhere. The other thing to remember about change is change only happens when there is opposition to what you are doing. There's no change if everyone agrees. So if you're in a meeting and you suggest something new and everyone goes, yeah, no problem, you know it's going nowhere. And that's just absolute, everyone's just saying the right thing. They're just all looking to be politically correct, so it's not going to go anywhere. So don't get fooled by that either. Okay. Ooh, okay. what's coming out under that, which I really like, is the Lovers card is coming out. So it is all about like minds coming together, people that complement each other coming together with their ideas, but it's also about falling in love again. And falling in love can be falling in love or more, or it can be falling in love with what you're trying to achieve, what the great concept was, what the philosophy is, and what you wanted to do in the past. And what's interesting about that, which is mirrored, which is the 5. Now, 5 is a change card or a conflict card. So it's also a card about hierarchy and pathways, and you see what that's being highlighted about. So this often is also equivalent to the Hierophant, which talks about organizations and orthodoxy. So what this is talking about is please do fall in love. And you need to be thinking about here, either fall in love with the pathway that you want to be taking, or you're going to have to just accept and fall in love within the hierarchy of what you're working if you want to make the change from within. You can't make the change from within an organization if you don't have a good, be that your business or be that your corporate, if you don't have a good feeling for that business, because then everything that overrides that is not coming from that positive place of good intent and movement. It's coming from a place of, I'm not happy with this. And so it's coming from a negative starting point. And if it's not focused and in the context, look, I really love this organization and I want this organization to work, then it's really not going to take you somewhere. You're getting beeps. I'm sorry, I've got things coming in. So just have to have a think about that. All right, let's see what's coming up next. Oh, look at that. I do love that. We get the Sun, which is fabulous, which is talking about you. So this is very much feeling about what you can achieve, what you can do, and the direction you can take. And I love this because you got the Page of Swords, which is really active and it's a new way of thinking. And someone said this to me today, and I was really interested about that, because the Page of Swords is also movement, but there's a lightness to it, and there's definitely a lightness to the Sun, and there's a lightness to the Page of Swords. So it's a little bit about the need to also lighten up a little bit about it. So when we are getting to sometimes when we're getting too deep into the thinking, or whether we're really spending a lot of time thinking about something, what happens is that we can be easily overwhelmed by those things that are not working, and how we are powerless and unable to address that or change that. And this is definitely saying that's not the case, and you should be thinking a lot more positively about where you want to go. Sorry, I was just looking at that. Fuck this, decide to park across the road and keep his engine running. Okay, it's just giving me 2 more. Okay. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. Oh, very good. Look at that. Beautiful. So we get rebirth or new beginning, known as judgment, but this is rebirth, and this is why I really like it. And it's falling down the side, which starts off talking about the path and how unhappy we are, and how there's something we're not being honest with ourselves about, which is the moon. And it's asking us to fall in love again with it, and even if we are within an organization, to make sure that we're in love and appreciative of that organization. When I say love, you need to bear that in mind, that love has many forms and has many degrees, but definitely get engaged. And directly underneath that comes the rebirth. And I think that is lovely, because after you've had a 10, you do go into the rebirth, or you go back into the beginning. And the beginning, how to find the beginning, is definitely to get back into and sense that passion for you. And likewise, if you're not sure about what you want to do next, but you know you're finished with something, again, what the cards are saying is get passionate and don't look for what you think the solution is at this time, because you mightn't have it. But it's about thinking about what you want your life to be like, and what you want your career to be like, and what elements you want to start bringing in that you currently don't have. And that's another way of thinking about love. The other card that came out with that is, which is beautiful, I'll bring it up so you can see very closely, is the Page of Wands. So this is definitely a rethinking about how you see the environment around you. So how you see your business and your partnerships, how you see your corporation and the career that you're in. And so underneath that, it's another, we've got lots of new beginnings. We've got the Ace, which is a definite start of the Ace of Wands, and then we've got the Page of Wands. So this is a doubling up of changing the way that we see how we're relating to the world around us. And I'm hoping, because this is a really empowering message, so again, for those of us who might not be thinking that we have the power to really make a change, you might be right. For most of us working in large organizations, absolutely, the ability to make a major change is really minimalistic. It's really minimalized, it's really hard to do. So maybe the change that you're looking for is to find some other place of work where you can get that feeling that you're contributing and that it's working for you. And the world is on your side if you want to get going with that. I'm just going to do Dreams of Gaia because I think it might be nice to stick that out and have a look at it. And I really want to have a look at the Hierophant, the 5, and see what that's saying, because of all the cards that stick together, that's the one that's not making sense. The cards are a bit jumpy, so just let me concentrate on that. Okay, very nice. So we get the 6 of Water, which is the equivalent to the 6 of Cups. So again, it's reinforcing, and the 6, which is the Lovers. So it's reinforcing the need for us to get a stronger emotional attachment to what we're doing, because that's probably the root of the unease for most of us. And the other aspect is it's just reminding you that there are a multitude of choices. So don't get thinking that you are limited or that you're locked in or any of those aspects. You're never locked in. You just can't see what the opportunity is. But you always, always have a choice. If you want opportunities to come, you've got to open yourself up to believe that they're there and to believe that they're there for you, and that's when they will come. So that's the opportunity for that. Oh, it's just given me one more. They've just given me, it's, I don't know, I never know really what to call them. Let's just say my guides, the spirits, asked me for one more, and could put on the, okay, a clarifier on the other side. Ooh, look at that. So we've got the Scribe. Okay, and this is the Dreams of which is number 12. Look at that. It's very beautiful. Quite mystical. You've got the herons, which are the messengers. You've got the third eye opened up, and it's talking about the Scribe. And the Scribe is the one who takes the information and makes it and forms it into something that becomes useful. So what this is looking for those of us who are in a very practical sense is, please don't be afraid to start writing down in your journal what it is that you're looking for, and write down the elements that you're looking for to engage in your life and to bring into your life. And that would be a really, really great way to start to get clarity about where to go in this next step. And at this stage, it's more not so much the planning. Don't get too bogged down in the who, what, where, and how. Just have a think about start with what you're interested in and what you think you would like to be doing. Use that as the catalyst, and then from there go out and see what your connections are and who might be able to give you information, leads, or direction about that, or who might also be interested with you to push that along. So there you go. There's the tarot from that, looking at it from a business perspective. So we've got one side clearly saying that something has come to an end, and it's time for us to acknowledge that and be really honest. And the solution to the next step, or what is the next phase, is to get actively engaged with it. We're talking about getting passionate or reconnecting with the value of what it is that you want to be doing. That's for you to remain, or even for you to jump ship and to go into something else or change direction. On the other side, it's saying the opportunity is there very much for you to go and forge ahead and really start thinking about the new, because we've got a lot of pages which always talk about new things coming in, and it's a thinking, and it's thinking about how we see the world and how we see ourselves in the world. We're being supported, double messages about falling in love, and we have choices, and now is the time to start putting some ideas and just expanding those ideas from the perspective of what could be, not limiting yourself to what is. It's time for growth. All right, nice to be talking to you. Lovely to be spending time with you, and I'm hoping that's very helpful. Okay, bye-bye.